Good morning. Good morning. Good morning to you again. This is Jacqueline coming from Richmond, Virginia, and I am in the beautiful and magical Maymont Park, sitting under this magnolia tree, and it smells so delicious. How are you this morning? How are you? I pray that you are blessed. I pray you feel loved. And I pray you're being safe. Okay? So this morning, I want to talk about something that God has laid on my heart. And honestly, it is a joy to please the Lord. It is a joy to be obedient. It don't always feel good, especially when you have to be open and transparent about your life. But God's saying that somebody needs to hear these words, right? And so we have just celebrated Mother's Day and we're coming up to Father's Day, right? And so when we think about these celebrations, we think about honor, right? And today I want to talk to you about discovering the spirit of honor and having and harnessing a spirit of honor and gratitude. So I didn't know anything about this honor. You know how we grew up and we hear honor your mother and your father, and that has always been challenging for me. I've always been the one to just question things. I try not to live life just haphazard, like from the neck up. I need to feel and I need to understand and embrace what this truly means. And so, just to give you a little context and to share with you how I came to understand, I came to America at 15 years old from Jamaica, and unfortunately, by 16, I was pregnant. I was 3 months pregnant, and I got word that my grandmother, who raised me, died. It was the most challenging experience. It was the most difficult decision. But I knew there was something inside of me that said, you have to go home. You have to go home. And I don't know if anybody understand how Jamaican families are, any family for that fact, just coming home, here I am feeling ashamed that I was pregnant at 16. And really shouldn't have mattered, but at that time I did not understand that my family, really most of my family, was never there for me. But I still felt that guilt, they were still my family. I still have a love for my family, and there was something in me that was, it was just a hard moment. But that love I had for my grandmother, I defied everything. I defied everything and went to see her off. To see her off. I didn't want it to be that way, but that's how life turned out for me. And I went, and it was the hardest feeling. It was the hardest feeling to see your family, and the way how they treated you, and you're feeling that shame, and they're saying to you, oh, you have that shame in your belly. And it was really painful, but I was so glad I did it. And fast forward years later, I realized that I have there's a feeling inside of me, a really powerful but sweet feeling to be a blessing to those who have impacted my life. It wasn't anything that somebody pointed out to me. It wasn't anything that anyone said, hey, you have the spirit of honor. It was something I realized, and the Lord started to talk to me about the power of remembering and the power of point of reference. So that was my first point of reference. Like, what made me do that? I knew that my family would look at me in a negative way. I knew that they would just be condescending to me. I knew it, but I defied all of that pain and I went to celebrate my grandmother, right? And so, as I said, years later, I started to realize that there was this pattern in me to really look back and to really bless those who have been a blessing to me. And it has been so rewarding to go back and say, hey, do you know that you have really blessed me? Thank you for doing that. This is how you helped shape my life. Thank you for pouring into me. Thank you for saying that. And it's so beautiful. It's beautiful to feel it. And it's also beautiful to share it, to not keep it to myself, but to impact those lives, to go back and say, you have been a blessing to me. So, this is how my life has shaped, and I came into it, and now I'm just fully embracing it and just loving it, right? So, around this Mother's Day and Father's Day, years ago, I questioned God. Now, what is it about my parents that I would want to honor? I'm really struggling with this. Help me, right? Because everybody's saying no matter what your parents do to honor them, but I had a hard time with it. And so as I seek the Lord to help me, and I go about my way, the first thing I realized was that the way I smile, my enthusiasm for life, my passion, my entrepreneurial spirit, my go getting attitude, the way how I make people feel good. That's my mom. That's how my mom is. I remembered her spirit. I remember just even when we talk on the phone, the few times that we have talked on the phone, we laugh the same way. Like we be giggling. We laugh, this big loud laugh. I mean, sometimes, I'll be in the park minding my business, chatting on the phone, and I'll just be laughing. And somebody will come to me and go, thank you. I needed that. And I'm like, you needed what? And they're like, your laughing made me so happy. So, but I realized all this came from my mom. All of this came from my mom. And then my dad, I mean, I just love my dad. He used to take me with him and we played dominoes and stuff, and he let me, it's just these moments, But he is more reserved, more balanced, right? And so I realized I have that reserved and balanced nature about me too, right? So over the years, I realized that who they are, outside of what happened, outside of the abuse, outside of the trauma, I am a manifestation of those two people, the beautiful side of them, right? I am manifesting it and I am enjoying it every day. Like these stories couldn't have happened. I could not have delivered these stories, no matter how painful they are. But I am who I am because of them. Who you see right now is because of them. So I am here, and even when I talked to my dad, even last night I talked to my dad and I said, Daddy, I love you, because who you are is who I am. So I just want to encourage you to find a way to honor your parents. I finally realized that my parents are worth being honored because of who I am and everything I have gone through. God have used these two people, these two imperfect people, to bring forth another imperfect person, but with a testimony and with so many testimony and so much passion and so much joy to deliver it to you. So I know for many of us, life has not been great. For many of us, we suffer at the hands of our family and at the hands of our parents. But I just want to encourage you today to try and remember something good and blow it up, magnify it, and celebrate it and enjoy. And this Father's Day coming up, talk to your father and say, because of you, I am. Find something beautiful that's worth celebrating. And as I meditated on it this morning, I think about these veins that are flowing through our bodies. And when we don't celebrate and when we don't honor, we're cutting off our own bountiful supply. And I do not want to cut off any more joy. I don't want to cut off any more happiness. I want everything to exude beautifully from me. And I hope this have been a blessing to you. May God bless you and keep you. And may He make His face to shine upon you and be gracious unto you. Point of reference, find those moments and magnify it. Own it and celebrate it. Celebrate yourself. Celebrate God. He is worth it. May God bless you today. Greetings.